Hey guys, we're using Poshmark and you should too. Do you have things that you don't wear anymore? Poshmark is seriously the easiest way to make room in your closet, make some cash, and also snag a bargain. It's the coolest reseller with the best brands like Lululemon, Nike, Reformation, and Gucci for up to 70% off. DJ Khaled has a closet and Serena Williams. Download the app today. Enter Podcast 10 when you sign up for $10 off your first purchase on Poshmark.
Can you remember a time when your business was fresh, and do you remember when it was an idea that you were moving toward? Do you remember how good that felt?
Yes.
And can you tell us why it felt good? What was appealing about it?
The place, absolutely beautiful. The expectation of the opportunity and what I can do with it.
So are you saying that the reality of the current condition is overshadowing that vibrational reality that you were once moving toward?
Yes.
Do you feel that it is possible, without actually releasing the business, to get back to that vibrational reality?
Yes.
That's the question of the day, because that's the only way that conditions will ever change. You have to find a way of finding the unconditioned in the condition that aligns you with the intention that is in your vortex before what you have can change. And the condition changing may mean it becoming more profitable. It may mean other people coming in to manage it and giving you the freedom to do something else. It may mean releasing it all together. It depends upon what's in your vortex. Are you sure that what's in your vortex is releasing the business, or is what's in your vortex just personally feeling more freedom? Could you have put the cart before the horse? Could you be coming to the conclusion that the only way to be free is to be absolutely free of that? You see what we're getting at?
Yes.
Because a lot of times you come to conclusions, you think that to feel this way, then this and this and this and this has to happen, when you have the ability to feel this way if none of that happens, if you just knew that. That was a big statement. You have the ability to feel good if nothing changes, because you have the ability to focus on something other than exactly what is. And when you do that, then everything changes in proportion to the vibrational change that you have found.
Yes.
So, do you really want to release this business?
Well, I thought I did.
We're not trying to talk you out of it, but are you wanting to change that condition, or are you wanting to feel different? That's really the question.
I want to feel different.
And do you need to change the condition in order to feel different? That's the big question. Does this have to happen just the way I've got it all carved out in order for me to feel better?
No.
It doesn't, does it? So what do you think you could accomplish in the next 5 minutes? Selling the business or feeling better?
Feeling better.
Ooh. Ooh. So what's the best plan of action? To hold off not feeling good till I sell it, till I sell it, till I sell it, till I sell it, till I sell it at a loss, or I sell it? What's the best plan of action? How fast do you want to feel better?
Immediately.
Then what's the best plan of action? To feel better or to sell the business?
Feel better.
And logically, what else can you do? Can you give yourself permission to feel better without the condition to justify the feeling better? Ooh. How dare I feel better before the condition adjusts itself? What am I, a crazy person? Feeling good with no good reason? Feeling good before the manifestation supports my feeling good? That surely must be madness. We say it's deliberate creation. It's creating vibrationally. It's utilizing the energy that creates worlds to assist you. It's getting yourself into the receptive mode. It's getting yourself to the place where you can get tuned in, where the good idea can come. Don't you find that when you're swimming, ideas come to you?
Yes.
Don't you find that when you're gardening, that ideas come to you? And many of those ideas are ideas that don't include that business. That means they're good ideas.
Yes.
We're just saying, your work is to get into alignment, period. Your path is leading you to that, and everything else will take care of itself. We were visiting with a person one day, and he wanted to sell a house. They'd been wanting to sell it for a long time, and it wasn't moving. They'd outgrown it. Wasn't pleasing to them at all. And we said, why do you want to sell this house? And they said, because we've outgrown it. We have more children now. There's not room for all of us. It's not in the neighborhood that we want to live in. The vegetation doesn't look the way we want it to. We're done with this house. And so we presented to the world the advertisement for that house. Come and buy this house that's too small, this house that's surrounded by a garden that doesn't look good. Come and buy this place we no longer want. Come and get it. And so, of course, he understood our sarcasm. And then we said, do you remember what it was like moving into that house in the beginning? And he said, yes, when we found it, we were so excited about it. And we said, why? And he said, because it was what we were moving into. It was something that was more and better for us. There was a place for all of us at the time. And we said, and what did the landscaping look like at the time? And he said, there wasn't any. We planted everything that was there. Every weekend we would go buy another bush or another tree, and together we would plant it. And we said, and do you remember how that felt? And he said, we loved the place. It was so fun watching it become. And we said, now that's a different advertisement that you're putting out to the universe.
Yes.
Now you're saying, come and find this thing that is just right for you. And so it's an interesting thing. Our friend earlier said, I'm afraid about something. And what he meant in this situation is, I'm afraid if I make peace with my business, I'll get stuck with it. I'm afraid the universe will misunderstand. I'm afraid the universe will think I'm happy with it if I don't complain about it. And it seems like in order to distance myself from a condition that I don't want, that I have to say no to it and point out what's wrong with it. But the opposite of it is what you're really wanting to do, because what that condition has produced for you is something that is new, that is in the vortex. And you've got to find a way of lining up with who you now are and what you now want. This is a universe that's based upon attraction or inclusion. There's no exclusion in it. And we know you know that. So right now, in this moment, how do you include what you want in your vibration about a business that you want to leave behind? Isn't that a good question? How do I right now include in my vibration that will bring me what I do want, which I believe is a separation from what I don't want? And the answer is, you just got to look at everything on the subject of business or otherwise that causes you to feel good. Receptive mode is all you've got to accomplish. Do you know, you could have 10 subjects of importance, and 9 of them could be going very well for you in terms of conditions. The conditions of 9 subjects could be just right, and the condition of 1 subject could be awful. What most people do is they focus upon the one condition that's awful until they mess up their frequency across the board, and then all of the other things begin to get out of whack too. Or you could have 1 thing that's really good and 9 things that aren't. And you could focus upon the one thing that causes you to feel good, adjust your vibration, and you'll receive inspiration about the improvement of all the other 9. So we're doing a really strong sales job here. We want you to understand what your work is. Your work is not to improve the condition so that you can feel better. Your work is to feel better so that the condition will be improved. But that isn't exactly the way we want to say it either, because that's not really the way that it is. Because if the ulterior motive is to fix the condition, you're still doing it conditionally. So you got to do it because you want to feel good, period. Really, do you care if you're happy because you're swimming? Or happy because you're gardening, or happy because you're in a thriving, prospering business? Does it matter what the condition is if you're happy?
No.
It doesn't, does it?
No.
So what is it that causes you to find things in the condition that you don't like and believe that you got to get away from them, when it's never about that anyway? It's always about alignment. Do you believe us when we say that you've created a vibrational reality?
Yes.
Do you believe us when we say that your inner being, that source, whatever you want to call that non-physical consciousness, is projecting, revealing, vivid, precise information about how to get what you're asking for?
Yes.
And so doesn't it seem logical that you just want to do whatever you can to get in that receptive mode so that the ideas can occur to you? We think that what has happened to so many is that you've lived in a world where others around you have been moving things around through their action, And you've been instructed by well-meaning people to do these things and then you're rewarded. And so you do that and they give you an A, or you do that and they give you a B, or they do that and they give you a paycheck, or you do that. And so you've become accustomed to doing and getting and doing and getting and doing and getting. You've sort of trained yourselves into the mediocre, very slow way of moving through life experience. But those who discover the leverage of alignment, one who's connected and inspired, more powerful than millions who are not. That's why you call them masters when they get tuned in. That's why you recognize them. Oh, that guy's got all the good ideas. You know why? He's not toiling in the trenches and resenting it. He gave himself permission to do what he loved to do. So that makes you say, well, then I should find something that I love to do, which means I have to get rid of this thing that I don't love. And we say, yeah, but you can't shake loose of something that you're calling to you with all of your attention to it. In order to change the condition, you've got to change the frequency. And in order to change the frequency, you've got to change the conversation. You've got to change the subject. You've got to change it to something that causes your vibration to shift. And when it does, everything in your experience shifts too. That makes perfect sense to you, doesn't it?
It does.
So if we were standing in your physical shoes, we'd do two things. We'd do more of the things that please us. We'd give ourselves permission to do it. And we would compliment ourselves on doing the things that are pleasing. Esther, she's doing a lot of this lately, where she's not exactly doing something that she thinks she should be doing. In other words, if she was really doing what she thinks she should be doing, she would get that book ready for you. Because it's been in an almost ready place for a long time. She'd get it ready, but it's a grind. She doesn't really want to do it. She feels guilty because she doesn't do it. She should do it. She feels like she should do it. So when she's not doing that, she feels like she should be doing that. So no matter what she's doing, she's not in alignment. Do you remember when you were in school and every minute you weren't studying, you felt like you should be studying? Because you never got it all figured out, did you? You never got to the place where you really felt like you really had it. So you got to find a way to give yourself permission to be where you are, to like yourself where you are, to like where you are, to like where you are with all your flaws and flows and with all your incompletion. Oh, that's so big. That's so big. You're never going to get it done. Accept that. You're never going to get it done. And you can't get it wrong. And the reason you can't get it wrong is because it's never done. You're never going to get it done. So you might as well give yourself permission right now to do something that feels good to you while you do it. And if you will get on that sort of roll where you're doing more of what feels good to you, and while you're doing it, try to soften the guilt while you enhance the, this is good, this feels good, I'm enjoying this, I'm liking this, I like this. I like the way this feels. I like this. If you'll get into that mindset more of the time, more ideas will flow to you. And when you translate an idea from source, when you realize an idea from source, it always feels so good. It always feels like something that you want to do. So often you think, oh, well, I just want to not do that. In other words, if I could just not do that, then I'd be happy. If I didn't have to go to school, or if I didn't have to go to work, or if I didn't have to do that, or if I could just get rid of all the burden of all this stuff I have to do. And we say, that's backwards. The way you want to approach it is start doing more of what you want to do and start noticing that you're feeling good in the doing of it. Start noticing that this feels good and this feels good and this feels good. Give yourself, this is what we are asking of you. We're asking you to give yourself permission to feel good in whatever it is you're choosing to do right now. And that means stop doing so much out of service. You'll never hear anything more important from us ever. Stop doing it out of service and reward from the opinions of others, and do it out of pleasure and alignment for self. And then before you know it, you'll be doing the work that feels the best to you. You'll be saying to yourself, there's nothing in all of the world that I would rather be doing than this right here, right now. This is who I am for now. This is what I want to do. This is who I am. And all of me is focused here. All of me is flowing here. All of me is in on this conversation. All of me is in on this art. All of me is in on this receiving of this music. All of me is in on this inspired gardening. All of me is in on this inspired. All of me. Because in any moment in time that you've pinched off some of you and you are not allowing all of you, then you're not having a very good time and you're wanting to be someplace else. Our favorite conversation ever.
You might have noticed a change in your neighborhood lately. Yep, Sprint stores are now T-Mobile stores. Now that Sprint is T-Mobile, you get more coverage, value, and benefits than ever before. We've invested billions to bring our 5G from big cities to small towns across America. And great coverage is just the start. From high-speed mobile hotspot data to weekly deals and giveaways, our customers get tons of great benefits. Head to your new T-Mobile store to learn more.
Qualifying service and capable device required. Coverage not available in some areas. Some uses may require certain plan or features. See T-Mobile.com.
Switching to Geico is a good idea, especially when you consider everything.
First off, Geico makes it easy to switch. They have licensed agents available 24/7 online or over the phone.
But if it's so easy, you might start thinking everything is easy, even big wave surfing. And it's not. It's actually quite difficult.
Well, if you switch to Geico, you could save hundreds on car insurance. And you could keep saving by bundling your motorcycle, boat, and RV, plus your home or renter's insurance.
But saving money might lead you to make some questionable purchases, like a 20-foot feather boa. And do you know how hard it is to clean a 20-foot feather boa?
Well, they do have an industry-leading mobile app you can use to pay your bill, file and manage a claim, or add a new driver.
But when life gets a little easier, it makes you too confident. And you start calling everyone Ace. And you're better than that.
Well, Geico has a 97% customer satisfaction rating and has been saving people money for 85 years. It's hard to beat that.
But you're right.
Switch to Geico. It's obviously a good idea.